Hey everybody, welcome back to Waterbury, Connecticut. Dirty Water. Dan and I are here with one of our good buddies, Adam Treffery.
Adam is the vocalist for the hardcore outfit Shots Fired and has been a part of the CT music scene for over a decade and has shared the stage with Dave and myself many times.
Today, we're chatting about two notorious venues, both under the same name, South Street Stage 1 and 2. Adam, what's up, dude? We're stoked that you're here.
Dude, thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to talk about South Street, one of the best venues in the world to me.
Such good times, crazy times, insane time.
Dude, stuff that like Joe Mecklem, he just posted on one of my statuses, like a story that like, dude, I completely forgot about. And it's just so funny looking back, like some of the stuff, dude, you tell people and they wouldn't believe you if you told them. So I can't wait to get into some of it.
Absolutely. I know I played there a few times with my band Arc and attended a lot of shows there, mainly at Swift Place.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The number 2. That one was just as crazy, but I would say number 1, it's so hard. While I was preparing for this, I was thinking about all these different times, and we've gone to so many shows at that one location.
Yeah.
That sometimes I don't remember. The one thing I do remember about that first South Street stage, though, was that the bathroom had no roof on it. And if you were on the stage, you could see people just like taking a shit. It was like,
oh my God.
It was the most ratchet looking place. And then there was like a bunch of drums like stacked on like this 2x6 that was sitting above the toilet. And yeah, and I mean, it was literally a garage that somebody built a makeshift stage in. So
I think I'm gonna name drop Tom a lot. Tom was the owner of both South Streets. To be honest, I don't even know. I almost want to say you can consider there would be 3 South Streets because there was the Uptown Lounge after the second, but I don't think Tom owned that. So
yeah, I'm not sure. I would love to talk to Tom about how they acquired the second one, because the second one was a bitchin' venue. Like it was a smaller stage on a height level.
Yeah,
but the sound was pretty incredible.
Sketchiest fucking area in the world.
It was, dude. But I mean, regardless of the area, I loved playing that venue.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Strictly for the fact that the load-in was right next to the goddamn stage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Right, the
it
door
was
right there.
so convenient, in and fucking out.
Dude, I have so many good memories from like the first one, but I feel like because the first one, dude, just absolutely insanity. But the second one always comes to mind as like my favorite to play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to incriminate myself for some stuff that's happened at some of those places in this episode. So
for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Some things we won't say. Other things, possibly. I remember the first South Street stage was very notorious for the fact of violence and people being hopped up on caffeine, because there was a Dunkin' Donuts / crack filled gas station right in front.
Yeah.
And a lot of dudes that were just 21 buying a lot of younger girls booze at a liquor store that was right there.
Yeah.
So
I always thought there was a gratuitous amount of Four Loko at those shows.
Dude, that was it. Plus, like if you go like 10 minutes up the road, there was like the little bodega in Watertown, and they didn't give a fuck. They sold to whoever, you know. And
nobody was saying shit.
Yeah, like you said, that Dunkin' too. It wasn't like a normal Dunkin' that closes at 9 o'clock. It closed at like fucking 1 a.m. So,
yeah, it was like a gas station.
Yeah,
the venue was impossible to find if you didn't know where it was. You're like, dude, I'm at a fucking Dunkin' Donuts. Like, what are we doing?
Oh, dude. when like the first time I heard about South Street was right around the time Spit Your Game was starting, and they were like, I think Mike was like, yeah, dude, we're gonna play this place called South Street Stage, and I was like, oh shit, that's cool, because at the time, like, we had a lot of venues in Connecticut, like a lot of VFWs, American Legions, and obviously we have like the Webster and Toads and stuff.
Yeah.
But like Waterbury was lacking venues. Like Bobby Allen's burned down.
Bobby
we were
Allen's,
all
dude.
Oh,
What
wow.
a spot.
yeah,
That's a
dude,
throwback.
fucking amazing venue. We were all like in our late teens, so it was like we couldn't play Brooklyn Cafe anymore. Watertown and Oakville VFW, they had enough of our shit because of all the fights and stuff, and they stopped doing shows. So it's like South Street came just at the perfect time because we really needed a venue. And I remember the first show, I was like, dude, there's like a badass venue opening up. It's got a stage, all this shit. And then I remember the first time I saw it, I looked at Mike and I said, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" It's like a car garage.
Yeah.
And it's a car garage with a fucking sound booth that takes up half the floor and a fucking stage that's like falling apart and like a crackhead in the shitter.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
and then we technically Spit Your Game headlined the first South Street show.
That's what's up.
But it wasn't by choice. I remember because like Tom owned the venue, but he was under the impression he never booked shows before, and he was like, "Dude, just play as long as you guys want and whatever." And I remember there was like 3 bands left before us, and it was 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, "Dude, there's still 3 more bands and then us." And we, if Tom listens, I'm sorry because I don't think we ever confessed our lies, but we lied to Tom and we said we were a band from New Jersey so that we didn't have to go on last. And he fucking didn't buy it. Somebody stooged us off, and we played at like 2 a.m.
God damn.
Yeah.
Confession time. We've done that too. So.
Yeah. Yep.
The old, I don't know, dude. I don't know why we thought we would get away with a lie. It was like he's like friends with a lot of people we were friends with, and
Tommy was in a band too, right? I forget like
yeah.
outfit he was in. It's been so long, but yeah, we were blessed to have Tom to be like, you guys have fun, and that place was no holes barred for at least a year.
Sure.
And it was I remember specifically I didn't play there with Forsaken or Forsaken of Sky. That venue had already moved to One Swift Place when I did that, but I remember playing when All Is Lost.
Jesus, dude.
There a few times and many Beneath the Gallows shows.
Yeah.
So that was definitely the place that Beneath the Gallows and Forsaken the Sky started to like really, it was like the kind of like the hometown spot for everybody if you weren't playing the Webster Underground.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it was the only place out of all those places. Like you can go to Heirloom, you could go to Tuxedo Junction. Tuxedo Junction wasn't too bad. They were a little sketchy. They let people kick each other in the face. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
it was a fun venue.
Yeah. It was a great venue. If it's, I think we asked, is it even open anymore?
No, it's not. They do like, I think they do like raves there or something.
Oh, good.
It's just a club, I assume. By this,
it's a great club. If it was, I mean, it's set up really well.
Yeah.
But no, South Street, the first one was like the place where you could, if you wanted to, stage dive and drop kick somebody in the head.
There was. Yeah, you could do anything at that venue. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, and it's like they had I know Tom had shit. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna forget this. I think his name was Brian. He was like the security guard, but he was like the cool uncle security guard that like kind of turns his head when shit goes down. You know, like I remember Line of Scrimmage played South Street, the first one. And I'm watching Line of Scrimmage, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen them, but they're just fucking amazing. And that couch that's kind of on the side, I just remember like looking up and it just falling on my head. Like people were flipping couches over and stuff. And I just remember looking at Brian like scared for my life. And he just kind of turned his head the other way. And I was like, dude, what the fuck?
You're not the second venue had the pool table, which was even more treacherous.
Yeah,
in the back, and then the whole. I think we mentioned it in a previous episode. We mentioned South Street. It had like the area where you walked in, and there was like a hot dog concession area up by the soundboard.
Yeah,
it was raised, and people would jump off that shit. Like
that was cool as fuck.
Dude,
man.
that sounds wild.
What's funny is I think South Street. I don't know if it was 1 or 2, based on you not being in Forsaken until 2. I think that's where I met and played with both of your bands for the first time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I mean, we played a lot of VFW
Yeah.
halls. You know,
Oh, we played everywhere. I
yeah,
remember like the Trumbull VFW was a hot spot for a while. There was the one in Naugatuck. They were all over the place, but they all stopped hosting shows for the same reasons
all the
because we're
VFWs
all
and Legions.
rowdy
Yeah,
Oh
fucks.
yeah, and they still I think excuse me, Thomaston VFW or American Legion, whichever one it is, they let us have CDC like in 2019 play,
oh my
which is
Nice.
dude, CDC in 2019 is fucking cool. But after that they were like, yeah, we're not doing this again. So that was like the last remaining one.
I remember at the second South Street stage with John Miller always wearing CDC shorts. So I remember that.
We played with CDC at the second stage, and that was probably my favorite show we did at South Street.
My favorite moment at the first South Street is a Beneath the Gallows moment. There's actually two. Not even the shows that I played. That's some wicked pictures that we've gotten. I forget who took the pictures with When All Is Lost, and I love them. I wish I wasn't wearing what I was wearing, like shiny blue gym shorts. I guess that was the thing, to wear gym shorts and Nikes
Dude,
at the
I
time.
would wear like shiny red gym shorts. So it was
Yeah,
a,
dude.
you know, maybe it was a basis thing.
I think it was a comfort and a scene thing for the time, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Remember when Beneath the Gallows had that van that you couldn't see out the front?
Oh my god,
The,
yeah,
the
I do
black
remember
one that
that.
was spray painted like black. It was like a
Yeah.
raised top. So I believe Coleman was wearing like a rat head, like a mannequin's rat head or some type of mannequin head, and he was driving with it. And I drove with them to this show. Horrific. Because they couldn't, the only way to drive was to put your head out of the driver's window.
Jesus,
Yeah, there was they spray painted the windshield. I don't know why the fuck they would do that, but you know, we could ask Billy at some point, why the fuck did you guys do that? But they wanted the most dumpy van ever, and they destroyed it and made it worse. There's also times, I believe, at Windsor Locks VFW or American Legion, we played a show with them and they didn't have heat, so they had a propane tank and one of those like, you know, blower heaters attached to it. Just
Jesus,
sitting
Holy
there.
shit.
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
they were
Talk about
definitely
a fucking fire hazard.
oh, dude, the band was a fire
Jesus.
hazard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, fair.
And then that, I don't think it was the same night, but when Evan was their bass player, there was a show where it's still on I believe the video's on YouTube, where I'm standing right there on those like rickety steps near the wall, and Evan cranked himself in the face with his bass
Oh,
and
Jesus.
like broke his nose.
Jesus.
And yeah, he was, I mean, Evan would go balls to the walls, dude. That kid, I'm surprised
Love
that
it.
kid has a spine.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, he hit himself in the face, and he just was just the cool set of pictures came out of that. I mean, there's blood everywhere, but Andy had a white bass, so it just made it even more fun to look at. But
Of course.
I was noticing, like, dude, why is Evan spitting on me while he's like headbanging next to me? And I realized that this dude's leaking from his face, and it's
No
just
shit.
all over me, like just covered in blood all over my face.
Metal.
And I was just like, yeah, it was super metal. But I remember being like, oh, what the fuck? Like, dude. And he's just like, yeah, like he finished the set out like a champ. And I mean, he must have not felt that, because it
What a
like amped
G.
him up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
And I do remember chairs and stuff getting thrown at some of those shows, like some of the ones on the
yeah.
side. Yeah.
Oh, dude, for sure. Back then, I remember like Oakville VFW and stuff. Like Oakville VFW got stopped shows because Hoods Up played, and there was like fucking trash cans getting thrown around and shit. And I don't know if you guys remember Kenny Copes, but
Yeah.
he was like a little kid back then, and some dude was just like moshing on him, I guess. And Kenny Copes just like took a fucking steel chair and bashed the guy in the back of the fucking head. And ever since then, shows are fucking gone from them.
Holy shit. He went full WWE. That's
Dude,
fantastic.
he fucking whacked him with a chair right in the back.
Holy shit.
Dude. Yeah.
What a fucking legend.
Kenny was only like fucking, I don't know, man, like 14 at the time.
Dude, we were all super young. And it was around the same time that people would wear like weighted backpacks and pits and shit like that.
Oh,
dude,
yeah,
for
dude.
sure.
Keep
Yeah,
your
yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
remember a show ever getting shut down there though. They were just don't stand in the middle of the floor. That was
No.
it was just not the place.
I know the first one. I don't think a show ever got shut down because I think Tom was just like, "Yo, if it happens, it happens." Because there was definitely fights there. Like fights broke out there for sure. But I think Tom, he didn't want to be like, any other venue and just be like, "Nah, you guys fucked it up for yourselves." He was like, "Nah, you guys fought. Go home." Like one night, I can't remember who it was. I think it was. I don't know if you remember Cuban Sam. Um, but it was me and Cuban
I do.
Sam, and Cuban got into a fight, and then Tom kicked us out. But I think I threw a cone that night or something at the venue because I was pissed. But Tom was just like, "Oh, you guys are just done for the night. You know, we have a show tomorrow. Come tomorrow." So it wasn't like he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna shut this venue down." It was more like, "Yo, just go home, chill out, and I'll book you next week or something." So he was always really cool about not shutting down.
He taught lessons.
Yeah,
Take a breather. I'll see you tomorrow.
that's the one thing about Tom. Like I I'm definitely gonna send him this. I messaged him earlier and told him we were doing this, but like that dude, man, he probably doesn't know it because nobody really told him, and I feel bad because I haven't talked to him in so long. But like, dude, that dude gave us all like a fucking place to go, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sundays. And for years, dude, years, like they would like, not to sound fucking cliche or anything, but everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you only get fucking one life and you're only young once." And it's like, dude, most of my memories from being young happened at South Street Stage, at both venues. And like, dude, look at the cover picture for this episode, man. Like, unfortunately, we lost Lorenzo a few years ago, and like one of the fucking pictures that I have that I look at all the time of him is from South Street. And I don't, like I said, I don't think Tom knows just because I don't think anyone's ever told him. But like, dude, he did more for us than a lot of people have, and definitely greatly appreciate Tom. And he didn't make money off South Street. I'm sure he made money off the door and things like that, but he never gave a shit about money. He never gave a shit about how many times he booked your band or anything like that. He just cared that you guys are having a good time, and he had a venue people liked, and that was it, man. He was the fucking man.
Agreed. I agree.
Sounds like a great fucking dude.
Yeah.
Dude, for sure. He was. I like I said, I feel bad because I haven't fucking talked to him in, man, years, probably since the last South Street shutdown. But yeah, dude, I greatly appreciate that, dude, for sure.
It'd be great to get him on and talk about and I mean, he's gonna hear this, so
Yeah.
get him on and tell him, like you not only the three of us, but
Yeah.
more. I mean, dude,
Countless others.
countless people.
Dude, think of all the bands that went through there, dude. It's like
Yep.
all these locals. Like, dude, look at fucking. I don't think anyone's talked about South Street Stage in probably 10 years. You and I post a status about it today, and just everyone, dude, coming out of the woodwork, like man, I can't wait to hear this episode. I got so many stories I could tell you about this place, man. Like, damn, I really love that place. And it's like, dude, here we are. I don't know. They've been closed for like 10 years now. And it's like 10 years later, we're still talking about them. So I guess that says something.
Yeah. And not to throw any shade to any other venues in Connecticut, even Webster Theater. The Webster Theater gave me some great opportunities to play shows, but it was a different dynamic. There's a lot more business aspect to that club. Pay to play at the time and some larger shows. But yeah, no, it's I really think during those years, at least that the years that both of those venues were around, those venues helped shape that central Western Connecticut scene. I mean, any band that was in Connecticut or parts of Massachusetts, some dudes from New Jersey, parts of New York. I mean, South Street. Yeah, Rhode Island. South Street would have bangers, and it would, there'd be the usual suspects like us, but there'd be other bands that would roll through there. And I have more memorable moments from South Street Stage than I do from the Webster, even with some of the larger shows and bills I've been on with the Webster and different bands, the South Street stage still has like the most epic nights that we've ever had. And some
Yeah.
I don't remember. Some I might have been inebriated, I might not have been, but some of them were just the craziest times. The biggest thing that I remember from the second South Street, I don't know if both of you guys were there, but our buddy Chuck had a birthday show.
Jesus, I know this is going.
Yep,
And
I remember that show.
yeah, and I believe it was the same show that it was Nate's last Forsaken the Sky show and Lou's first Forsaken the Sky show.
Oh wow!
So I think we had them
That's
both.
right.
And I remember there's a few other people there. There's some of Lou's friends that were there. And then there was, I believe, with the way that venue was set up, in the back, there was like a pool hall, shitty dive bar club. And they were having like a show going on at the same time. And I think it was like hip hop. It was completely different from the grind metalcore, hardcore bands that were playing there.
Yeah.
And the motley group of people that came with it. I think there was some overlap between the crowds on the side of the venue because the entrance to that club was on the side where we would load in. And I don't know exactly what happened. I do know that there was portions of our set that had to stop because of fights. And there was a lot of mosh police going on, which created some havoc later on into the alley where we were loading. And all I remember from that situation is being next to my trailer and eating a bowl of corn pops and literally just sitting there. And all of a sudden this giant fucking brawl, like 30 people on 30 people.
Oh my God. I do remember this now.
Remember pipes and chains and brass knuckles.
Holy
like,
fuck.
And it was like,
how
that
did
shit.
I forget this? It's just been years.
So
Jesus.
This story actually ties into what we were talking about before with Tom kind of still giving us a chance to do shows, because I remember that show didn't get shut down, right?
No, it didn't.
No, the cops came.
Yeah,
yeah, cops came, but it kept rolling.
So I remember Justin and I were not at that show, but Kyle was, and at the time Kyle was still he was still a little younger. I think he was like 15 or 16 at the time.
He was definitely pretty young.
Yeah, and I remember somebody called Justin and was like, "Yo, there was a fight at South Street, and we don't know where Kyle is." So we immediately like went to South Street, and like we're thinking like the worst is about to happen, and we get to South Street, we walk in, and I remember we looked at like Tom and Brian, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck, everything all right?" And they were like, "Yeah, everything's fine." This is literally like 10 minutes after the cops had left.
Unfortunately it cleaned out the show though. Like there was a way bigger crowd.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, people freaked out. People didn't know what to do. I do remember though standing with like Waterbury police, and a few people were standing there from I think Cameron might have been standing there, John might have been standing there, and one of the dudes from that brawl came out of nowhere, pushed a cop out of the way, and snuffed this dude and knocked him out.
Fucking
right in front of all the cops.
Jesus.
And like we were all talking in a circle. There was like two fucking cops in the circle we were talking to. He just like, "Get out of here!" Popped him right in the, just like
the balls on that dude.
Yeah, and he booked it, and then the cops grabbed him, and there was some shit. But I do remember, somebody definitely got hit with brass knuckles in the face and fucked their whole eye up. And
I do remember the brass knuckles coming.
I did get punched a few times for no reason. Dropped my corn pops. I was really upset.
That's the worst part, is you dropped the corn pops, dude.
Yeah, I had milk everywhere. Like, come on,
just like, man, bro, I'm just trying to eat, you fucking assholes.
The worst part about it, not that like people in my band were involved, but which they were, some of them, and John almost got stabbed. Like there was very close. That's where the whole fight broke out, because somebody had seen a knife and popped somebody, and then the whole thing happened because John was being John, and I just remember it happening. But the problem for me was that like all our gear was right outside the trailer, and this shit's happening, and I'm like, oh my God, there's like $40,000 worth of shit right here. Like this is like the most stressful thing happening. And I remember one of my friends, this chick, she comes up to me, she's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like, do you not see this
What the fuck's wrong
Spartan
with you?
Coliseum?
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, like,
It's like a hooker.
what you guys doing? Yeah, but I do remember the cops not giving a shit. They were just there and they were like, "All right, everybody good? All right, cool, bye." And then they arrested one person and that was about it.
The police department is
yeah.
The police department's relatively close to there. So I'm sure they had a million other things going on. So
yeah, there's probably better things to worry about going on in Waterbury than a bunch of kids getting in a fight.
Yeah, I do like. It's funny that you're telling this story because I've never heard like the actual story. We heard there was a fight. We knew Kyle was there. We couldn't get a hold of Kyle. We went there. We saw Kyle, and Tom was just like, "Yeah, dude, everything's fine. You guys want to watch the show?" Sure.
That's great.
Dan,
man.
did you guys play that show? There was a lot of bands in that bill.
We did not. I think Ark only played like 2 or 3 shows there, but one of the ones, I think it's the first one we played that I remember like very vividly. I think Spit Your Game was on that bill.
Mhm.
I think it was Hooker in the Morgue. Tuesdays with Maury played.
What a fucking show.
Tuesdays with Maury. Like,
Jesus.
shout out to that band. They were fucking insane.
Shout out
Dude.
to Jeff, the fucking
Yeah.
man.
I'd love to get any one of these guys from any one of these bands. I mean, dudes from Margot. I was talking to Nate the other day and he's completely down. So I'm like, dude, you got people from like, say, Shura and all this stuff that like you haven't even heard these names in so long. And
I could probably make Margot happen very easily.
That would be great.
Unreal, dude.
I went
That'd be
to school with Dave, and like I knew all the dudes from their old band before Margot, and yeah. They're awesome fucking dudes.
Hell yeah. Sad day when they closed down, dude. I remember it like switched to the ups. Spit Your Game was getting ready to book our last show, and well, what was supposed to be our last show, and then we had like 19 after that. We wanted to book South Street, and I just remember like Tom said that like they weren't going to be doing shows or something, and we ended up booking that fucking big ass room upstairs above South Street, the fucking Swift place, I guess they called it afterwards. Because like, dude, some people were like, "Oh, it's South Street." I was like, "No, fuck you. It's fucking not South Street. Unless it's Tom owning it, it's not fucking South Street." And I just remember like not feeling right playing that building, and it wasn't fucking South Street, you know. But that upstairs was cool, I guess, you know. Like I remember Spit Your Game's last show. The ending, the last memory I have in that building is Spit Your Game's last show. Knuckle Up from New Jersey played.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Knuckle Up because they're fucking sick. I remember Justin jumped up and he grabbed the ceiling fan, and the fucking ceiling fan completely ripped out of the ceiling.
Ark played that show. I remember this.
You did, yeah. That was our last show. And
that's right.
All the power in the entire building, like the club downstairs, everything blackout, completely gone.
The pictures of that moment are fucking legendary.
And it's funny because up until, dude, I want to say a year ago, Justin denied that it was him. And like, I fucking knew in my head that it was Justin, and I just waited, and he finally fucking came clean. It was, it was Justin that ripped the fan out. And then like, I remember somebody was at the show and he was like, "Oh, I'm an electrician." And he's like, "I just need a screwdriver." It's just like, man, somebody's going to die tonight because they're going to put their fucking screwdriver in an electrical socket. And then Joe just commented on my post right before we started recording and reminded me that one of the toilets got clogged and we needed to get it unclogged, and we didn't have a plunger. And
I remember this. The whole hallway to the elevator and everything was flooded.
And they found, I don't know who, like a fucking guy on the street. And they were like, "Dude, we'll give you $10 and a pack of cigarettes if you can unclog this toilet." And dude, just barehanded reached into the toilet, started pulling out shit and fucking piss water. And like, I think Joe said there was a brick in there.
Do it.
And dude, he did this all for $10 on a pack of cigarettes, and he fucking cleared the whole toilet, just like arm's length and shit, just covered in it. And that was our fucking last show, dude.
Hey, man, there's definitely a story out of it, and yeah, I remember that show really well. That was a fucking great show.
Yeah, we were
packed,
dude. It was fucking. The lineup was fucking insane. It sucked because Manners was supposed to play. Unfortunately, they had to drop. But like the lineup was still from fucking start to finish.
I'm
fucking
trying to
amazing.
remember. Detroit played that too, right?
No, I don't believe. Actually, Dave, I just sent you the flyer earlier. I think Forsaken played, Arc played, Strike Hard for sure played,
That's
Knuckle
right.
Up.
Yeah.
I can't remember Joe Kerwin's old band's name, but they played.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't there another band from out of state that played? I remember them playing like a Motorhead cover or some shit. That was awesome.
You sent me Supremacy Booking presents Spit Your Game, Forsaken, Knuckle Up, Light and May, Lucian. That was his band.
Lucian.
I remember
Lucian.
Light and May was sick too.
Yeah, also featuring And If She Dies, Back and Forth, Manners, Strike Hard, and Stalemate.
I know Arc got added like
Yeah.
like a couple of days before because we had to fill Manners' spot, and If She Dies, is that the band? I'm sorry. Yeah, that's Sean from Life Itself. That's his old band. But I remember, dude, that show, we went in there the night before that show, and I was just like, dude, this place is fucking huge. It's gonna look like so much shit when fucking 20 people show up. And
yeah, and then 200 plus people showed up.
Yeah, it was fucking, dude, it was crazy. And then like after the fan got ripped out, I don't know who the fuck fixed everything, but somebody fixed everything, and the show kept going, and like it was such a good fucking time. And I wish that's when we ended I wish we ended Spit Your Game the day we started it, but I wish that was the ending point. I wish we never did anything after that, and we will never do anything again. So,
dude, we played so many shows with you guys. There was one that I remember. It's not South Street Stage, but it was out in, I don't remember, but it was at a VFW, and somebody had a fog machine. I don't know if you recall this one, but you were definitely there. And we set off the fire alarms.
Oh, dude,
had the fire department come.
Litchfield Firehouse.
Yep, Litchfield. It was at a firehouse too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what it was.
it was at the firehouse, dude. Litchfield Firehouse. That's the night I met Jake Narika. He was playing for Asylum Avenue. Yeah, dude, that we played a firehouse, and dude, I remember we were playing when the cops and the fire department came in.
You were. Yeah, yeah. It was during your set, I think. Was it Cursed by Reason played that show too? There was, I remember that show vividly because we all had to throw our shit like in like the far right portion of the building because there were so many people there. Like it was nuts.
I was legitimately pissed because our set was going so well for the first time ever, and like I was like, dude, kids are going crazy for us. This is a lot of fun. And then the cops come in, and I was just like, fuck it, keep playing. And he literally like yelled at me to shit. He was like, I'll fine you if you don't stop. And I was like, keep fucking going. And then we ended up having to like stop. But like once the fog cleared, we ended up going through with that show. God, I forgot all about that show, man. Fucking firehouse. And it's like, it's not even like a firehouse in like fucking Hartford. It's like Litchfield, where it's just fucking
so random.
Boondocks, dude.
Yeah,
it was literally
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
it was like a fucking hall where they do like charity events
and like bingo, probably.
Yeah, something fucking weird. It was like attached to the fire department. I just remember there was nothing else on that road.
Yeah, there was like a church.
Yeah, which I mean,
that's about it.
We don't go.
But it had a huge parking lot. I remember it being massive. This massive parking lot. There might have been a Cumberland Farms like right next door or something like right there. I remember Beneath the Gallows played that show.
Yep,
definitely.
I remember not giving a fuck about like if we played like one town playing the next town the next day. So like we played that show, and then the next night we played Serenity in Torrington, and those were
Oh,
fucking
wow.
good. And
Love
it,
Serenity.
it was with it was with Beneath the Gallows too. So like 2 nights in a row, Litchfield, Torrington, and that was just kind of what you did back then, I guess.
Yeah, it's just you played every show you could, even if it was the same crew of people that would show up, you had the support.
Yeah, dude, it was a good time, and it's like I said, the last memory of South Street was that show, and then I remember we were supposed to do Brett Malinowski's memorial show.
Ah, yes, that
Yeah.
got moved last minute.
We got to the venue, and the owner of the fucking building was like, no more, we're done with this shit. And we're like, dude, we literally I can't remember if I still have the picture like somewhere on social media how many fucking people were there, but I was just
Oh
like,
yeah,
dude, we're about to make you so much fucking money, like there's a lot of people coming and like all this shit. And he was like, I don't give a fuck, get the fuck off my property. And then like I can't remember who got us. I don't even remember where the show was,
it was
but
we moved it to Plainville.
yeah, Plainville. It was
Yeah.
like VFW or something. But like,
Yep.
dude, I remember like that's my, besides the Spit Your Game last show, it's like my last memory of that place was just that guy being a dick on a night that was really fucking special to all of us. And I tried to not let it hinder like the past and like all the South Street memories. But like, man, I was like, man, this fucking sucks.
That was, if I remember, one of Beneath the Gallows like last shows as a band
I
because they
think
didn't
so. Yeah.
last too much longer.
Mhm.
So I just remember Lorenzo with his yellow flannels all the time when
Such
he
a
was
fucking
playing.
asshole.
Yeah, I remember being there. There's a couple pictures where I was looking the other day and I was like, is that me standing behind that camp? And that probably was. But I remember that show being a banger.
I have a picture of Nate, and he's like standing on one of the fucking boxes that you guys used to have, and it's just like Nate like looking over a sea of people, and I have that picture somewhere, and I gotta find it now.
Hey, you know what? There's a couple guys in a couple bands that possibly could be in the position of opening their own club at some point in the next couple of years. So maybe we'll just call it South Street Stage if it happens. You know,
That would be sick, man. Like I don't know too much going on in the scene now, just because we had the baby, and fucking ever since then it's kind of just been no shows since Shots Fired broke up. But like right now it's like the Webster, that's it. And to my knowledge at least, the Webster's in like such a better place now that Justin Leach books there. But that's pretty much it, dude. If you're not playing the Webster, you may have like a couple other venues. Like I know Cherry Street's still a thing, but that's kind of it, man. To my knowledge, I guess.
That's crazy, man. Because I grew up in Wallingford, and we had venues. We had venues just in Wallingford. We had the Wallingford Knights of Columbus. We had the Amleg. We had Hungarian Hall. There used to be this place up further up called Planet Bean that would just do like whatever. They used to do industrial and punk shows. So it's like it was like you could throw a rock, you'd hit a venue, there was somewhere to play.
Yeah, not
And it's
anymore,
just
man.
like, I, hopefully the guys that have those memories and like anybody that was a part of that scene, like, you know, times are fucking weird right now. And I think like this next generation of people, like, and like kids that want to play music or go to shows, like they need that solace, they need that fucking place,
Yeah.
because otherwise they're gonna go out and do some other stupid shit.
Yeah, dude. Like when Shots Fired was I fucking hate saying like at the height, because then it makes it sound as like we were bigger than fucking God. But like when we were at the highest we got, that's when venues were like fucking weird and shutting down, man. Like we played one of the last shows at Point Beach, and that venue was fucking sick, and now that's gone. Wham Leg's gone, and yeah, man, it's a different place now.
Well, if I can make you feel a little bit better, uh, there is some information out there I have from a pretty good source. Point Beach is coming back.
That's fucking sick. That's cool.
Yeah. I don't want to give any info, but
Sure.
that's in the works, and hopefully it goes well.
That firehouse next to Point Beach is now a pizza place.
No shit.
It's like a firehouse pizza place. Like it's a
Well,
fire themed
Firehouse pizza.
That's no, dude. I'm not joking. That's
Convenient.
literally what it is. Yeah. The last time I went to Point Beach, Shots Fired played Boundaries music video shoot, and
nice.
Oh, man.
it was like dead middle of the summer. And Kyle was like, "Dude, we should all wear Hawaiian shirts." I was like, "Fuck it, let's make it a luau." And
Hell
then
yeah.
if you guys remember the I don't want to call it a dollar store because it's more like a Big Lots that was in back of Point Beach. There's like a store.
Yeah.
So we went there because we just wanted like snacks or whatever because we got to the show fucking early. And we ended up buying a grill. And then they didn't have like hamburgers and stuff. So we bought fucking chicken patties for the grill. And we grilled chicken patties. And then I think we collectively spent $100 on boogie boards, water guns, pool noodles, scuba gear.
Yes.
And when we played our set, it was just people beating the fuck out of each other. There's videos on YouTube with like boogie boards and beach balls, and Jordan Ashby had like he completely burned his arm off, so he's just got like skin hanging everywhere, and it was fucking
Holy
awesome.
shit.
That was my last memory of that place. So
man,
who's the band that screwed the pooch for Point Beach? Was it Life Ruiner?
It was Life Ruiner 2.0.
Okay, yeah, because I remember like windows and ceiling tiles and
they
holes
like
in the wall and shit.
They like spray painted Life Ruiner on the fucking ceiling.
Oh Jesus Christ!
We played with like the original. Was it the original one? We played with them at Serenity in Torrington, and they're cool as shit. I never met the guys that came in and took over when the original broke up, but the original one was
I remember the guys in the original lineup being really cool.
Yeah.
You know what was really interesting about South Street Stage is that there was never like a major label band that rolled through there. It was never booked like that. There probably was a few bands that played, but it wasn't like Club Serenity. I strictly remember shows with like Gia and larger band. Lost for Words played. I think that show.
We played that show.
Yeah, I got popped in the mouth real good at that show. It was a good one.
Well, that's the cool thing about South Street is like you didn't have these bigger. I remember like CDC came in and like CDC, you know, they were fucking big at the time, man, and I mean they still are, but like they were huge at the time, and I remember that was like a big deal. But like I remember 95% of the shows just being like local shows that drew fucking people, you know.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first South Street. God, I can't remember who played, but I do remember it was a fucking snowstorm. And dude, you would think it was a fucking summer day. It was packed in there in the middle of a fucking like blizzard. And that shit was just so cool, man. It was a different fucking time back then. And man, it's just such like I love that we're doing an episode on South Street because I wanted to collect like some thoughts before this, so I went through all my old stuff, and it's like, man, just like going back through all that stuff, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the only other show I remember from like from the second South Street, I think we played like a metalcore show with I think it was Self-Made Soul. This other band that's funny that I used to play in Wallingford called a band, and a Failing Sky from Rhode Island.
Oh, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. I'm still friends with Kevin. Because Ark would run into his band after all the time. Oh shit, I can't. The name escapes me right now. It's been too many years.
You know what the best part, aside from Tom making that place what it was, the best part about that place is that it wasn't just like two bands every night. It was like fucking 14. Like
Yeah, dude.
we would have banger like
Yeah, dude.
festivals on weekend nights. Like just
Basically.
yeah, I remember especially the second one just having like there's 10 bands tonight. It's like what the fuck, 10 bands for $10?
Yeah.
And you know, for
Yep.
us, I remember my experience, especially when we were Forsaken the Sky and we were shifting over to change the name and the lineup and everything. That was the spot that we were like, dude, we're headlining this place all the time. And I don't think we gave a shit if it was local or not. It was
Oh.
just like, let's just do it, because all the people that were there to see us. One, two, most of them were our friends. So it was just this giant party where all the bands girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, all their friends, family, uh it was just a place. It's funny too, because it's like, oh, it's a place to keep the kids from not fucking around. Yeah, well, we fucked around in the building, so
Oh,
it was,
dude, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, you got so much life experience from, I mean,
Yeah.
fucking around and finding out.
yeah,
Dude,
I've been electrocuted at South Street. Great times.
I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, we've played, countless shows with each other. Like, I've played with Ark and Forsaken, Jesus, more times than I can count. But it's
Oh,
like,
dude, we
remember.
probably played with
Yeah,
you
how
guys
many?
like at least like a dozen times,
Yeah.
like between South Street, Heirloom, fucking Tuxedos.
I just remember playing with you guys a lot, and it's like, who the fuck knows, man? If it wasn't for South Street, who knows if the three of us are sitting here fucking talking about all these cool memories? It's definitely a special place. Like, I'm gonna loop it back to Lorenzo. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I fucking, man, just count. I mean, I worked with him at the theme park for 7 years after all the South Street stuff, but it's like, man, those fucking nights, dude, they're just like late nights and fucking just bullshitting with him, and it's like memories that I have of my friend that I'm never going to see again. And it's like, that's where I go back to. I go back to South Street Stage, and that's a big deal, because that's gonna be with me forever. So yeah.
Yeah, that's where
Absolutely.
that's one of the rooms that we keep him alive, and there's countless videos from the original one. I don't know if there's too many, because I don't think Beneath the Gallows played too many shows at the second one, but they definitely played at the first one.
Yeah, I haven't like brought myself to get through those videos yet. Like, I know I know they exist, and I know that I've tried to watch them, and I get through like a little bit, but I can't really like pull myself, because like I said, the theme park is where I bonded with Lorenzo a lot, because like we were kind of the only two full timers there, and dude, I was with him 5 days a week from morning till night, and that's where we bonded. But like, when you really go back, like, it was those shows that like made us become friends, and it's yeah, dude, I don't know, man. I can't get through those videos yet. I'm sure I will at some point, but right now it's not happening.
It's super tough, man. I miss the guy. Like, he was one of my best friends for years and years and years, and like you working with him for that many years and knowing him from that, I met him through shows, and then being friends with him for almost a decade. Like, there'd be times probably where he'd get out of work and I'd chill with him, like I'd see him. So like seeing him day in, day out, picking him up, just the endless house parties we've gone to. I mean,
Dude, I know.
Lorenzo and I have went to a Halloween party in Bristol one time that had like 300 fucking people. There was a skate ramp in the garage. There was bands playing in the basement.
So sick.
They broke the deck because there was too many people on it. Like, it was like the gnarliest party I've ever gone to, and I still have that memory with him. But yeah, South Street, I mean, any show, I definitely cherish that time that we had with him. He I mean, the dude is a fucking beast, man. So
Dude,
anybody listening, if you've never heard the band Beneath the Gallows, check him out.
Seriously.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. They were heavy hitters.
Monster. Yeah,
and it's
heavy hitters,
dude. We haven't even mentioned like South Street. Like, Tom is a fucking genius when it comes to doing sound. Like
Yeah, he was very
the
good.
sound that he always did, the sound, and it was always so fucking crisp and so good, dude. I the parts that I did get through of that video, man, I'm telling you, you go back and watch those fucking Beneath the Gallows videos, dude. So fucking underrated that kid was at vocals, man. Like, just like he's a fucking beast, man. And it's unfortunate that he's gone, but like we kind of talked about earlier, you know, thankfully we have you know, South Street to have, you know, cool ass fucking memories with him.
Yeah. What was it? A couple weeks ago, just out of nowhere, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna listen to one of these. I listened to the Savage. Jesus Christ, dude, that song. That song is so. I always get to that part where he's like, "Oh," like right there, dude. Oh man, woo!
Yeah, man.
It gets you. It gets you. But yeah, dude. And there's countless other people that we can talk about that are still with us.
Yeah, the
That were
list goes
there,
on, man.
and then there's still playing shows like the dudes Bearing Point, you know, Josh Boucher and Colin and John and
Yeah,
Kanan
man.
and all those dudes who, you know, some of them a part of Beneath the Gallows. So
They played the Webster tonight, I think, right?
yeah, they're playing
with the
right.
Orthodox.
Yeah, I told them, I gave them a 30-minute warning. I was like, you guys better murder that place.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking sick. And then Freddie, their vocalist.
Yeah,
dude, holy shit, he's a fucking monster at vocals.
I'm gonna have to come
dude.
up and check him out at some time. Like,
Jesus Christ, dude, the kid is just fucking amazing at vocals, dude.
and he's great in both bands, man. Bearing Point is amazing, and the Green Invaders is amazing too. So
yeah, we were lucky enough to play with the Green Invaders a lot with Shots Fired.
Like you said, we got tons of friends, tons of memories that you'll never forget, and like it's a, you know, credited to one of these venues, if not this venue, that we're literally all talking to each other right now.
I can see myself still talking about South Street 10 more years from now. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Like it's just one of those venues. It's sad because if you go by there now, everything is different. Like fucking dude, there was like a little Howard Johnson's next to it. It was Howard Johnson's, and it turned into Brass House. Fucking diner is completely demolished now. And if you go by, like, I remember maybe a month or so ago when my niece graduated, I drove by and the garage door was open. The fucking stage, I couldn't see the stage. I'm pretty sure it's gone. And it's just a regular, you know, car shop now, and that, yeah, it sucks, you know, but it was cool seeing the inside of it, and it was even cooler seeing that Dunkin' Donuts is still a shithole. So.
I mean, it always will be, but you know, everybody runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah, well, we ran on Dunkin' for years. The fucking that Dunkin' never had donuts, dude.
I wouldn't buy one anyway. I would never buy one from there.
Well, I don't know, man. I was fucking 19. And I was like, dude, they're like $1, so fuck it.
That's fair. Back before, you know, the shit hit the fan and everything's expensive.
Yeah, what is
survive?
What is Dunkin' now? Like $3.95 a donut now, or something like that.
Some fucking weird thing. Dude, now that I have a kid, I fucking buy him Dunkin', and I'm like, God damn, this sucks.
Hey, dad life, you gotta do what you gotta do to make the kid happy, man.
It makes him happy. But I hope that, like, if for some reason he gets into this kind of music and he gets older and wants to do it, I hope there's somebody out there like Tom who will take a chance on some fucking outcast punks like we were and give him a chance so he has memories that we have.
Shit, man, might be one of us at some point. Who knows? You know, we might be the old guys that did it, you know?
Who knows, man?
Yeah, hopefully this episode, you know, maybe sparks a fire under somebody's ass, you know? And, like, if you're out there, you know, now's the time to fucking do it. Like,
yeah, if you fucking hear this and you got $100,000 to burn, fuck you money, make another South Street stage. Do it.
Go to the garage and offer them fucking money.
They'll probably take it.
Yeah, at this point they'll take it. But no, you guys, I'll contact Tom. Even myself, like, I would love to hear his end of the story because he did.
No, I would definitely want to have you on for that.
I feel like that would be a fucking 2-hour episode because talking to the guy, he's a good dude, and you know, I hope he's doing well, and I hope that he wins the lottery and opens South Street again. Then I'll
Yeah.
make a band.
Yeah,
Because he got his own business now. He's making like trailers and stuff like that, like little live-in campers and stuff. I think.
Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
He's always creating, man. So
he's the
we
fucking
can
man.
thank him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we let you go, do you have any new music projects? Anything we can let people know?
We still have all the Shots Fired stuff up. Shots Fired CT, bandcamp.com/Shots Fired CT. That's what it was. I can't fucking remember. We played our last show with Kubla Khan. I think it was like 2 years ago or something. It's all a blur at this point, but who knows? Maybe you'll hear those songs again someday. Maybe at South Street. Who knows?
Dude, thank you so much for coming on, shooting the shit with us, going down memory lane, and yeah, no, one of the cool things about like what we're doing here is just like shining a light on the little like screen snapshot in time that we had, and just like just endless fucking memories. And
Thank you
just,
guys, man.
Yeah, of course.
It was not only fun to come on here and talk, but it was fun to go through the social media and pull up some old memories. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. I got plenty of pictures I can send you. I'm sure that would pop some more memories into your head.
I can't wait. I look forward to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. We appreciate you coming on here and giving us a little bit of your time tonight. And I'll be in CT in 2 or 3 weeks, so hopefully we all can get up and hang out and
Get
see
a
each
couple
other.
Get a couple shots of water, brother.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, dude.
For sure.
Thanks again for tuning in for another episode of Tales from the Soundcheck podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Soundcheck podcast, and listen on Spotify, where you can follow and rate the show.
Don't forget to hit that little bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel for full episodes and future exclusive clips.
If you have any comments, want to chat with us on the show, or have your band featured, please DM us or email us at talesfromthesoundcheckpodcast@gmail.com.